There are blows, after which opponents fall, and there are those after which the audience holds its breath, when everyone is not watching for a knockout, but to see if he will regain consciousness. When no one rejoices after the blow, everyone just waits. Is he alive? Such knockouts are not forgotten. They become part of history. Welcome to the world of the deepest knockouts in boxing. Chambers was one of the most technical and fastest Americans of his time. He had a record of 35 wins and only 1 defeat by decision, and believed that his mobility would neutralize Klitschko's size. But he failed to understand the main thing. Vladimir was not just a giant. He was an ice-cold mathematician in the ring. The fight was coming to an end, and it seemed that the judges would decide everything. But in the final seconds, Klitschko threw a left hook and determined the fate of the fight himself. Chambers slumped on the ropes, as if his connection to his body had been severed. He didn't even suspect that he would not hear the final bell. Char was a dangerous puncher with the temperament of a street fighter. He believed that his aggression and pressure would cause the Latvian to stumble, but he forgot that he was facing the most cold-blooded fighter of the Northern School, Briedis. In the 5th round, Char decided to go for broke and got caught. One precise uppercut broke through his armor like a power switch in his head. His body collapsed backward like a sack of cement. No one expected this fight to be a masterpiece. One was an explosive puncher with poor technique. The other was a technical boxer with a fragile jaw. But that night, a real war broke out in the ring.
It could have been a big weapon for him if he got it both behind it. But Jefferson ended that with his power punches.
Harris went down twice, but got up like a zombie. In the 6th round, it was all over. Jefferson caught Harris with a powerful left hook so cleanly that his mouthpiece flew out and his body collapsed like a cliff. Rahman was a rising star in the heavyweight division. The fight with Maskaev was only the last step before a likely fight with the winner of the rematch between Lennox Lewis and Evander Holyfield. This fight was perceived as the next step for the Americans' ascent to the boxing Olympus. Hasim was a 3-to-1 favorite. The fight began at a comfortable distance. He was faster than Oleg and noticeably more accurate. But in one of the episodes of the 8th round, Oleg caught a counter move. His right hand crashed into Hasim's chin. Rahman fell over the ropes, catching the computer equipment and badly hurting his leg. It was a scary knockout.
He's not going to get up anytime soon. Let's just be sure we can make room for medical personnel.
Yeah, that's right, and that's why you know that punch right there was it. And that's what I mean when I was telling Larry about taking chances. That really was a chance that he should not have taken.
Survives the round without any legs, and there's the shot.
Yes, that was over. That fight was done with right there. I hate to say it, but that fight was done with.
He's already. He knows the round. He knows the opponent.
Hasim Rahman was considered an easy opponent. Lewis was the champion and approached the fight without the necessary concentration, filming a movie, last-minute acclimatization, light training. But in boxing, such overconfidence is rarely forgiven.
You're gonna walk to the man, use your left jab.
In the 5th round, Rahman pinned him against the ropes, feinted, and threw a right straight punch right to the jaw.
Lewis across the ring. Rahman got inside and hit him a terrific straight right hand. Just a perfect.
Lewis collapsed and couldn't get up. One punch, and the champion lost everything. One of the most unexpected knockouts of the early 2000s. Lewis came back for revenge. He lost the first fight due to overconfidence, but now he was fully focused. And in the fourth round, he throws a precise left hook and immediately follows it up with an equally precise right cross. Rahman's head jerked like a doll's and his body slumped to the floor. The rematch was a true revenge. Whyte was the favorite. He was younger, more active, and had almost guaranteed himself a title fight. Povetkin was 40 years old and had twice had COVID before the fight and looked slower. The first rounds confirmed the predictions. Whyte held the center, worked with his jab, and knocked Povetkin down twice in the fourth round. But one moment decided everything. At the beginning of the fifth round, Povetkin ducked under a punch, got up with a dodge, and landed a left uppercut precisely on the chin.
Fury recently right over the top from Whyte. Take nothing away from a very good one. In the fourth, and then boom, one left uppercut.
Through the jab, he dipped to his left. I think that was the first time he threw an uppercut. He'd thrown both left hooks.
Alexander Povetkin at nearly 41 will go forward.
Norris was young, fast, and confident. He wanted to show that Jackson's time was over and that the ring now belonged to a new generation. But Julian Jackson was not just an experienced fighter. He was one of the most destructive punchers in history. In the second round, he seized the moment, stunning his opponent with a precise cross to the jaw, then leaving him with no chance with a left and right hook. In July 1989, Holyfield defended his WBC title against Brazilian Adilson Rodrigues. It was only Holyfield's fourth heavyweight bout. At that time, many doubted that Evander would be able to knock out his larger opponents, but after just 2 rounds, Evander landed a right hook to Rodrigues' temple and sent him into a heavy knockout.
Right now, Holyfield is getting untracked. He's finally woken up. Fans are going. Replay, and you can see the accuracy of the punch that knocked out. And you see how his head bounces off the canvas. A right hand. Rodrigues out of nowhere.
Adilson only came to his senses a few minutes later.
He hit his head on the canvas, and
The first confrontation between these two warriors was very entertaining, and it went all 12 rounds. In a competitive fight, Whyte won by split decision of the judges. But this time, Dillian decided not to rely on the judges and turned off Derek's lights in the 11th round.
So that'll give him a bit of energy.
Dramatic style, and our attention goes to Derek Chisora, who's being tended to because
It was a battle between youth and experience. Champion Jersey Joe, hardened by fights with the best, controlled most of the fight and outplayed Marciano. But Rocky is not about technique. It's about relentless pressure, iron endurance, and one devastating right hand.
Intent on staying away now. That's the right hand, Walcott.
The first fight was purely a battle for survival, but in the second fight, Martinez already knew how to catch Paul, and Williams was still openly pushing forward.
Williams trying to get a little jab working.
In the second round, Sergio caught the timing with a powerful left hook, instantly knocking Paul out.
Good left hand.
Williams was fighting the perfect fight, doing everything.
The left, but Martinez beats him with the left.
Shorter punch, yeah, I thought it was a right hook. Shorter punch. And you know, this is what's thinking was a right hook.
Right hand. Williams to the left. Williams down.
Not getting up, guys.
Not getting up.
Darrell Wilson was known for his endurance and strong jaw. He wasn't afraid of exchanges and could take a punch, but against David Tua, that wasn't enough.
Over here. Touch gloves. Good luck to both of them.
In the first round, Tua went on the attack and ended the fight with a brutal left hook.
Wilson tries a right hand across the top. Tua lands a short left. First down, Wilson. First time Wilson's ever been down.
Can he beat the bell? Can he beat the bell? He can't. He's counted out.
Another first round.
It was a short fight that reminded everyone why even the best feared Tua. This fight took place on November 10, 2018. Bellew was one of those who often claimed Alexander's inability to land a knockout punch in every interview he gave.
And let's not forget, I have the one thing that he doesn't have, and that's a punch that can switch lights off within the blink of an eye.
He's kidding.
And ironically, it was his fight with the Ukrainian that ended with him being knocked out himself. And it was a very hard knockout that happened in the 8th round. Frazier Jr. entered the ring burdened by his surname and expectations. As the son of a legend, he had to prove that he could follow in his father's footsteps. But on the other side of the ring stood the young Tyson, not just a knockout artist, but a predator at the peak of his hunger. From the very first seconds, it was clear that this would not be a fight, but a massacre. Mike pinned Marvis in the corner and unleashed a barrage of punches. 2 insane uppercuts, and it was all over before the audience had time to understand what was happening.
Frazier is down. Joe Cortez moves in to have a look, and he's going to stop the fight. It did not last 20 seconds.
30 seconds later, and all that remained in the ring was a motionless body. It was one of the shortest and most terrifying knockouts in boxing history.
With which Tyson knocked out Jesse Ferguson the first time you saw him here on ABC Sports.
Berbick was the champion, but in the ring against young Mike, he looked like a man who found himself in the wrong place by accident. With 40 seconds left in the second round, Tyson missed with an uppercut, but landed a left hook to his opponent's jaw, sending him to the floor.
Bangs the body. Wow, with that uppercut of Tyson. Catches him with a leg left hook, and he goes down. He goes down. He should be able to get up from this. His legs may be shut. They are. As Trevor Berbick falls back in the hole.
Trevor twice tried to get up, but his legs refused to obey him. And when he finally managed to get up, the referee stopped the fight. With this knockout, Tyson didn't just win, he made history. At 20, he became the youngest heavyweight champion ever, and no one has been able to beat that record yet. If these knockouts made you feel the full power of boxing, press the thumbs up. Tell us in the comments which of these punches impressed you the most. And subscribe for more real stories from the world of boxing. See you in the next video.